Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the fifth lecture of operating system. In our last lecture, we have started our second unit, that is components and services of operating system. In last lecture, we have seen the different services of operating system with its diagrammatic representation. So in today's lecture, we are going to learn about the system call. This is one of the most interesting and important topic of operating system. So let's move and begin with it. So what are actually system calls is? A system call is a programmatic way in which a computer program requests a service from the kernel of an operating system. As we have already seen that in the architecture of an operating system, there are three layers, kernel, shell and user layer. But we have also seen that whenever a user wants to execute some type of command or action in a particular operating system, at that particular time what user will do, user will request that command to the operating system. So that particular command will be translated into a system call. So system call is responsible for taking that request from the user, passing it on to the kernel, and after the complete implementation and execution, giving it back to the user in the form of an output. So all operating system provide some mechanism to request services from the kernel. This services request points are called as system calls. These are generally implemented using some software interrupt or trap. And in Linux system, there is a interface layer between the user space and kernel space that we are going to see in our next slide. This layer generally consists of a function, that is a library made up function that communicate between the normal user application and the kernel. We all know that system calls are the types of command which provide the interface between the process and the operating system. Whenever a user wants to communicate with the operating system, it is not possible for the user to directly communicate with the operating system or to deal directly with the input-output services. So system call provide an interface for the user to communicate between a process and the operating system. So these calls are generally available as assembly language instructions, but in certain systems they can be made directly through high level language also. Unix systems calls can be invoked directly from a C or C++ program, that depends. A system call is an instruction that does not execute a specific function in hardware, but it generates an interrupt that causes the operating system to gain control over the process. As I have already told you that a system call is a type of instruction or command which directly does not deal with the hardware, but it generates an interrupt. It might be a software interrupt or it might be a trap, and that made the operating system to gain the control over that particular process. So operating system then determines that what kind of system call it is and perform the appropriate service for the system caller. Whenever an operating system gets a request from the user in the form of command which are already translated into system call, then operating system has to decide that what kind of request or what kind of service that particular user want. So according to it, the system call or the particular operating system will perform the appropriate action or appropriate service, and then it will execute or implement that system call and return it back to the user in the form of an output. So as you can see here in the diagram, there is a system call provides as an interface to the operating system services. There are two modes. There is user mode and there is a kernel mode. So user mode is the end user who will be requesting the services from the kernel, and kernel mode is the central core of the operating system who are going to execute and implement all the requests and return it to the user. So as we can see here in the user process, a particular user will request any type of service from the operating system. So user is not able to directly communicate with the hardware or the kernel So as we have already seen that particular commands or instruction whatever the user will give to the operating systems are translated into a system call. So this user process which is executing that will call a system call, that particular command will be translated into system call, and then here there's, as we can see that there is a interrupt, software interrupt. This system call will be implemented with the help of a software interrupt or trap in the kernel mode, means in the core of that operating system. So with the help of the software interrupt trap, that particular request from the user will be executed with the help of the system call in the kernel mode, and after the complete implementation and execution of that system call or that particular request, that particular system call will be returned back to the user mode in the form of the output with the help of that same system call. So as you can see here, there are two modes, user mode and kernel mode. In user mode, the requesting process will be happening with the help of the system call, and in the kernel mode, the implementation and execution will be happening with the help of the system call only. So as we have already seen that system call is an interface between a process and the operating system. So whatever the process is going on, whatever the process the user is carrying out at that end, system call is responsible for translating it and transferring it to the kernel, and system call only will be responsible to implement the service requested. Now so let's take a short and simple example of a system call. Suppose consider a simple program that you want to copy a data from one file to another file. Okay, so now first of all what you will need, the first input of the program will be the name of both the files. You will need to know that from which file to what file you need to copy the data. Suppose there are two files, file ABC from which you want to copy the data, and PQR will be the file in which you want to copy the data. ABC से आपको copy लेना है और PQR में you have to copy it. ठीक है? So obviously the names of this both the files will be depending on the design of an operating system. अगर Linux है तो extension कुछ और होगा, and Windows है तो extension कुछ और होगा. That is with reference to the operating system as well. Then after that, once the file names are obtained, the program opens an input file and create an output file. So program क्या करेगा? That particular copying a data program will open an input file and that it will create an output file. वो इनपुट फाइल से डेटा लेगा, आउटपुट फाइल क्रिएट करेगा और आउटपुट फाइल में वो डेटा जो है वो कॉपी हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये जो दोनों भी प्रोसेस हो रही है, opening an input file, creating an output file, copying the data from input file to output file, both these operations require system call, right? आप जब डेटा इनपुट फाइल में जब आप ओपन करोगे और डेटा कॉपी करोगे, उस टाइम पे भी that particular operation will need system call, and आउटपुट फाइल जब आप क्रिएट करोगे और डेटा कॉपी करोगे तो उस प्रोसेस के लिए भी यू विल नीड अ सिस्टम कॉल. व्हाई? बिकॉज जब यूजर हु इज द एंड यूजर वो जब पर्टिकुलर फाइल जो है एबीसी जिसमें एक्चुअली हमारे डेटा है ओपन करेगा, तो एट दैट टाइम ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का जो कर्नल है वो ओपन इस जो ऑपरेशन है OPEN ब्रैकेट जो हम आगे देखेंगे, इस ऑपरेशन को सिस्टम कॉल में implement करेगा with the help of software interrupt or trap, and operating system will be notified that एक जो फाइल है ABC उसको ओपन करने के लिए यूजर से सर्विस आई है, एंड देन जब वो आउटपुट फाइल क्रिएट करेगा उस टाइम पे भी जो यूजर रहेगा दैट विल बी रिक्वेस्टिंग फॉर क्रिएटिंग एन आउटपुट फाइल नेमिंग PQR नाम की एक आउटपुट फाइल आपको क्रिएट करनी है. सो उस टाइम भी सिस्टम कॉल जनरेट होगा एंड वो कर्नल को नोटिफाई करेगा कि PQR नाम की हमको एक आउटपुट फाइल जो है वो क्रिएट करनी है जिसमें हमको एबीसी फाइल से डेटा कॉपी करना है और पीक्यूआर फाइल में डालना है. इट माइट बी द केस कि जब ये दोनों ऑपरेशंस हो रहे हो तो कुछ एरर आ सकते हैं. सो दैट इज द पॉसिबल एरर कंडीशन नेवरदीलेस. बट ये एक सिंपल एग्जांपल है जिससे आपको पता चले या समझ में आ सकता है कि हाउ डज सिस्टम कॉल वर्क व्हाइल परफॉर्मिंग एनी टाइप ऑफ फंक्शन और एनी टाइप ऑफ ऑपरेशन in the operating system, जहां पे system call will act as an interface between the process and an operating system. So now we will see the implementation of a system call. So basically every system call has a number associated with them, because whenever you want to address a system call, you can address that system call with that particular number. So as you can see here, the diagram on the screen, there is the user application, which is the end user, and there is a system call interface which will act as an interface between the user and the kernel. And then there are two modes, user mode and kernel mode. ये हम हमारी last diagram में भी देख चुके हैं. So now we'll see here कि how a system call has been implemented. System call implement होता कैसे है. So whenever a system call interface is implemented, it maintains a table index according to these numbers, right? जैसे कि आप लोग यहाँ देख सकते हो, ये जो टेबल दिख रहा है, this is a system call table, index table है, because जैसे लास्ट हम लोगों ने एग्जाम्पल में देखा कि if you want to copy a data from one file to another, so they will make an account कि कौन सा सिस्टम कॉल अभी यहाँ पे इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ, उसके बाद में कौन सा सिस्टम कॉल इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ एंड ऑल दैट. सो दे हैव टू मेंटेन एन टेबल इंडेक्स फॉर ऑल दैट थिंग. तो द सिस्टम कॉल इंटरफेस, व्हाट इट डूज, इट इन्वोक्स एन इंडेंटेड सिस्टम कॉल इन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम कर्नल एंड रिटर्न द स्टेटस ऑफ द सिस्टम कॉल टू द वैल्यू. जैसे कि यहाँ पे आप लोग देख सकते हो, यूजर एप्लीकेशन ने क्या रिक्वेस्ट की है, टू ओपन अ पर्टिकुलर फाइल, राइट. So this command will be translated in a system call, and with the help of system call interface, this particular command from user mode will be transferred to the kernel mode and will taken into account of this system call table index. And when this kernel will be having the request from the user of an opening a file, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने हमारे लास्ट एग्जाम्पल में देखा था. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर टेबल इंडेक्स विल try to implement this open system call with the help of this system call interface. That can be a software interrupt or trap, as we have seen in our last example. So after the particular implementation of this system call open, when the particular system call will be implemented, this will return to the user from the kernel mode. Kernel mode से user mode ये particular output जो है वो return होगा, but that too with the help of system call interface. Directly जो kernel रहेगा वो user से interact नहीं करेगा. We have already seen that user directly kernel से interact नहीं कर सकता है and kernel directly user से interact नहीं कर सकता है. It is a vice versa situation. If they want to interact between or with each other, then system call is acting as an interface between the process and the operating system. तो ये फाइल ओपनिंग का जो प्रोसेस है यहाँ पे जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम के अंदर हो रहा है, सो सिस्टम कॉल इज एक्टिंग एज एन इंटरफेस. सो जब ये सिस्टम कॉल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ओपन जो ये हमारा कमांड है इसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो जाएगा सिस्टम कॉल का, सो कर्नल विल रिटर्न दिस आउटपुट to the system call and system call interface will return that output as a result to the user mode, means user को वो output देगा as a result. So this is how a system call is implemented with the user mode and kernel mode, where system call is acting as an interface and every system call has been given a number so that उनका जो entry है वो होता रहे to maintain a table index according to its number. So जो सिस्टम कॉल होता है that are generally implemented with the system call interface. Moving towards, we'll see now what are the different types of system calls are there. So there are 5 major categories of system calls, and they are process control, file management, device management, information maintenance and communication. So proceeding further, we'll see what are the different types of system calls are there, and what are the tasks and detailed prescription about it. So the first type of system call that we are going to see is the process control, which is also known as job control. Whenever a running program needs to be able to stop its execution, it has to be stopped either normally or abnormally. We have already seen in the program management or process management that whenever you have created a program, so there might be two cases that it will be executed normally, smoothly, and will end, or otherwise if there are errors in that particular program or process, so it has to be end abnormally. So a running program needs to be able to halt its execution either normally or abnormally, which is abort. So whenever an execution is stopped abnormally, the dump of an memory is taken and examined with the debugger. Suppose like there is a program which has stopped and halted itself abnormally, so it might be the case that there is an error. So operating system needs to detect that error and correct it and take the necessary appropriate actions. So a process or a job executing one program may want to load and execute another program. So at that time load or execute this system call will be invoked. So if we may want to terminate a job or process that we have created, agar suppose we have created a process and we want to terminate that process, so at that time terminate process system call will be invoked. So if we find that it is incorrect or no longer we need it to finish the process, so waiting time to finish the execution, then wait time system call will be invoked. So there are the list of process control system calls which are used. So first is the end and abort. So suppose there is a program going on in an operating system and you need to end it. So it might end either normally, so at that time end system call will be invoked, and if it has to be end abnormally, so abort system call will be invoked. Then after that load and execute. Suppose if you have a process is running on a particular operating system, so you may want to load it into the memory and then execute it into the another program. So this two system call will be invoked. Then after that, if you have created a process, so create process system call will invoke, and if you want to terminate it, so terminate process system call will be invoked. Then after that get process attributes are nothing but the properties of a particular process. So get process attribute and set process attribute, these are the two system calls which will be invoked while you are working on a particular process. And when you want to wait for the process to end normally, at that time wait time system call will be invoked. And last there is a wait event and signal event which are generally used for the waiting time and notification of any type of system call. So these are the functions of the process control system calls which are used while a particular process is running on an operating system. Now the another system call is the file management system call. The first of all, I would like to tell you that all the system calls that we will be seeing in this types will be somewhat same, but the only difference is that with what element you are working. Like if there will be a process, so all the system call will be related to process. If there is a file, then all the system call will be related to file. If there is a device, then all the system call will be related to device. तो जैसे हम लोगों ने प्रोसेस मैनेजमेंट के सिस्टम कॉल्स देखे हैं, वैसे ही हम लोग फाइल मैनेजमेंट के सिस्टम कॉल्स देखते हैं कि while you are handling a file or working with a file in an particular operating system, तो at that time किस टाइप के सिस्टम कॉल्स जो है वो इन्वोक होते हैं. सो व्हेनेवर यू आर वर्किंग विद अ फाइल इन एन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, यू नीड टू क्रिएट दैट फाइल, you need to work on that file and then you need to delete that file. ठीक है. सो आइदर अ सिस्टम कॉल रिक्वायर नेम ऑफ द फाइल, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने हमारे एग्जाम्पल में देखा था. व्हेनेवर यू वांट टू वर्क विद द फाइल, copy data, paste data, delete data, anything, the first thing that you need is you need to create a file and some of its attributes, उसके कुछ properties और उसका नाम you need to first you need to have its name and then you should have its attribute. Then once that particular file has been created, you need to open it and use it. Whatever the file you want to work on, you need to create it, you need to open it and you need to use it. So file से related जो operations होते हैं, that may be reading a file, writing a file or repositioning a file. Repositioning is nothing but it just changing the positions of the file. That does not involve any actual input output, but the directory is searched for the appropriate entry and the current file position is set to a given value. जो current position होता है file का, उसको एक value दी जाती है, उसको बोला जाता है reposition. ठीक है, तो finally what we do after all these operations or file manipulations, we will need to close that particular file, indicating that that particular file is no longer in use. So we need the same type of operations for directories. अगर सपोज हम लोग डायरेक्टरी स्ट्रक्चर यूज कर रहे हैं फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग अ फाइल, अगर हमारी फाइल्स जो है वो ऐसे ही नॉर्मली ओपन एक फोल्डर में है या एक स्टैंड अलोन फाइल है, तो वी नीड ऑल दिस ऑपरेशंस फॉर फाइल. बट इफ यू आर यूजिंग अ डायरेक्टरीज or a directory structure for organizing or storing a file, so then you will need all these operations for directories also. So let's move towards and see what are the function of system calls in a file management. So सबसे पहले what you will need to create file and then you need to delete a file. Then if that file is not in use anymore, then after that you will need to open the file and close it, right? You need to open that particular file and after the manipulation or actions executed on that particular file, you will need to close that file. You will need to read, write and reposition that file. जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया है, अगर सपोज आपने कोई फाइल ओपन की है तो you can read it, write it and reposition it. And then at last you can get and set the file attributes according to your required need. So these are the functions of the file management. These are the system calls which are invoked when you are working on a particular file in an operating system. Now the next is the device management. As we have seen the process control and the file management, similar to that there are device management. We know that whenever there are multiple processes or job executing on an operating system, they need different types of resources to execute themselves, right? So these resources can be main memory, disk drives, access to any files and many others. So whenever these resources are available, they should be granted to the process which needs them and the control can be written to the user process. So if there are resources, many types of resources available in an operating system and multiple processes are going on, so resources are generally allocated to each one of them according to their needs, and this is generally implemented using a CPU scheduling algorithm. We have already seen that. So many times these various resources are controlled by an operating system, can be thought of any devices. They might be the physical devices also, like disk storage, secondary storage, then after that there might be CPU, there might be printer. So these are the physical devices which are needed by the users. So what users should do, once any resource have been allocated to that particular user, then after that, after the user has completed its use with that particular device, the user should release that device to the operating system, because it might be the case that more than two processes are in need of a same resource. So अगर suppose एक process का किसी भी resource को लेके काम अगर हो चुका है, so they should release the resource. So now let's move towards and see that how the system calls are invoked with reference to this device management. So when the particular device has been requested and allocated to a process who was in need of that resource, we can read, write and reposition that device, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने file के साथ किया था. In some operating system, because of the similarity between the input output devices and files, some of the operating system, what they do, they have, including Unix, they have merged this to file and device structure, so that it would be easier for the operating system to allocate the resources to the different files and processes operating on that operating system. So what they do, the Unix has merged the two combined file and device structure. So the different functions of the device management are request device and release device. Suppose if a process is in the need of any device, so that process will request that device, and after the completion of the execution of that resource, he will release that resource in the form of device. Then after that, it can read, write and reposition that device. Whenever you are using, a process is using an resource in the form of device, the resource or the process need to get the device attribute and set the device attribute according to whatever the device it has been using, whether it is the attributes of the CPU, attributes of the secondary storage, or attributes of the printer, anything. And the last is logically attach or detach device. This function is referring to whenever a particular process has been using a device. So there is a need that device has to be logically attached with that process, and after the completion has finished, that device needs to be detached from that process. So these are the functions of device management with respect to the system calls. So whenever a process is working or executing on a system call with respect to the device management, these are the functions which are invoked during the execution of that processes on a system call or operating system. So now the another type of system call is the information management. Generally many system call exist only to give the or transferring the information between the user and the operating system. As we have already seen that, and we know that this term has been repeated many times into our lectures, that a user cannot directly communicate with the operating system. So system call is the intermediate between both the user program and the operating system. So most of the system call are there only for transferring information between both of them. Some of the system call return information about the system, such as how many current users are now using the system, the version of the operating system the users are using, then the amount of free memory or disk space available on that operating system, and so on. So these are the system calls which comes under information management, who are there to give the information to the user of the operating system, and it gives the operating system information about the users also, right? So in addition, what operating system do, operating system keep the information of all its processes and system calls who are accessing the information, right? So what operating system does, operating system have an account. We have seen this in the functions of an operating system about accounting, right? So operating system keep information about all its process, and system calls are used to access this information. So some are the system calls are generally for information only, for transfer of information between the user and the operating system. They give the information regarding the user to the operating system, and they give the updates of operating system to the user as well. So now let's move towards and see what are the functions of the information management system. So the function that comes under the information management is to get time or date, to set time or date whenever a particular user is working on an operating system. So it needs to be, that operating system needs to be in the correct time or date, in the correct time, date or format, and if it's not, the user will or the process will set the correct date or time. Then after that, the next function is to get the system data or set the system data. And the last is to get and set process, file or device attribute. As we have already seen in process management, file management and device management, अगर आप process use कर रहे हो या file use process execute कर रहे हो, file use कर रहे हो या device use कर रहे हो, you need to get and set the attribute of all these three things. So these are the functions of information management of system call. So whenever a particular user is using a system call, this function will be invoked, and this system call will be responsible for all type of function in an information management system call. Now the last type of system call is the communication. So in system call there are two modes of communication in an interprocess communication. Whenever there are two processes executing on an operating system, so and if they want to communicate between each other, so there are two types in which they can communicate. First is the message passing model and another is the shared memory model. So in message passing model, the communication happens with the help of sending messages to each other. The communicating process exchange messages with one another to transfer information. So in message passing model, whenever the two process wants to communicate with each other, messages can be exchanged between the processes either directly or indirectly through a common mailbox. Lekin whenever you want to communicate, you need to establish a connection. The name of the other connection must be known. So if another process is on the same system or another process is on another computer connected by a communication network, the name has to be known and the connection must be established. So each computer in a network has a host name by which it is commonly known. So message passing is very useful for exchanging smaller amount of data because no conflicts are need to be avoided. And generally in message passing, mailbox has been used to communicate with each other. Another type of model in the communication is the shared memory. It is easier to implement that shared memory for inter-computer communication. They can exchange information by reading and writing the data in the shared areas. Whenever the two computers are connected and if they want to communicate with each other, and if two intercomputer communication is going to be happen, then they can read and write their data in the shared areas. So in this form they can exchange the information. Or in shared memory model, what happen, processes uses shared memory to create and attach the system call. वो क्या करते हैं, they use a shared memory which has been shared by both the computer which are on that communication network. They attach the system call to create and gain access to the regions of the memory owned by some another processes. So in shared memory, generally intercommunication is happen with the help of the writing and reading of data in an shared area. So let's see what are the functions of communication in system call. Whenever you are trying to communicate with another computer or another process in an communication system call, you need to create and delete the communication connection. As I have already told you that whenever you want to communicate with some another host or some another process, you need to establish a connection, open the connection, and whenever that information exchange has been completed, you need to delete it also. And then the another function which goes on is the send message, receive message. Then after that, the another function is transfer status information. Suppose if one computer has transfer or send some information to the another computer, so that particular computer, the sender computer will check that what is the status of the information which he has been transferred to the another computer. And the last function of the communication is the attach and detach remote devices. If suppose there are some remote devices attached to that host or computer to which the communication is taking place, so they need to attach and detach that devices also. So these are the function which comes under the communication system call. So in this lecture we have seen that different types of system call, implementation of system call, and what are the how a system call provides an interface to the operating system. So let's take a quick revision. What are the system calls? So a system calls is nothing but a way in which computer program requests a service from the user, and system call acting as an interface between both of them sends that request to the kernel of an operating system. The kernel execute it and send it back to the user. Then in implementation of system call, we have seen that how different types of system call have been invoked and implemented with the help of system call interface. Then in types of system call, we have seen the process management, process control system call. Then after that we have seen file and function, file management system call and its function. Then we have seen device management system call and its function. Then after that we have seen information maintenance and communication system call and its functions too. So I hope guys you got all the points that we have covered today in our lecture. So if you have any difficulty, you can ask me in our question answer session. And till then, stay tuned and thank you.